But this week, he made news for something that didn't have to do with the weather. Tweeting, "A child just rang my doorbell. Folks, you do not ring doorbells in 2023. My 6 was loaded. Keep your kids away." Signed, Chris.
This guy must be some special unhinged person. Like, look at that face. Look at that face. That guy looks like he'll just kill you in an instant.
You are now listening to Pree Da Podcast with your host, Majaro.
What is up, my tribal people? It's your tribal chief, Majaro, aka Midge, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And you guys already know what I'm going to say. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because you're trying to grow the community, and by sharing this to your friends and family, that goes a long way in helping us do that. Now, let's get into the episode. What is up, my tribal people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Majaro, aka Midge, and I thought we'd react to a video today on our favourite segment, Pree Da Video. And today's video, we're going to be watching some Philip DeFranco. If you don't know, Philip DeFranco is a news YouTuber. He has been doing it for over 2 decades now, and he seems to be spreading a lot of awareness around what's going on in America in relation to guns and gun control. Not legislative change, because God forbid America actually does something substantial to prevent mass shootings, but we're going to have a look at what schools and other neighbours are doing to protect themselves or threaten other people. Let's take a look.
Schools in Flint, Michigan are taking a unique approach to gun safety because there's this fear of kids bringing guns or other weapons to school. And so what they're doing is just outright banning backpacks. And this policy reportedly lasting at least until the end of the year, and the superintendent's saying backpacks make it easier for students to hide weapons, which can be disassembled and harder to identify or hidden in pockets, inside books, or under other items. So now instead, students are allowed to store personal items in small purses, bring lunch boxes, or place their gym clothes in clear plastic bags, all of which will be subject to searches.
Let's just imagine you live in a world where you have to have metal detectors whenever you go to school. That is what it's like in America, and it's been like that for the past 10, 15 years. Metal detectors are outside every entrance of the school. You have to empty your bags, if you're allowed bags now. You have to empty your bags, make sure there's nothing on you or your persons that can be dangerous. Just, that's crazy. They live in such a instead of addressing the root cause problem, in this case being guns, instead of addressing that, you're trying to do everything underneath the sun to not address it. Instead of sorting out the root cause problem, which would be the guns, they're doing stuff like, oh, you know what's going to stop a bad guy with a gun? A good guy with a gun. Let's arm the teachers. Let's remove backpacks. Let's remove this. Let's not even allow children into schools. How about that? Instead of removing the guns in a democratic way, or at least reducing purchases of gun, just something around curtailing the sale of guns, which, if you're an American watching this, you know for goddamn that's not happening. Just imagine the riots. If we thought there have been riots over the past couple of years, there'll be definitely riots if people try to take guns away from Americans. So that's why they're stuck in this box where they're just going back on each other, going back on themselves, going around in circles. And it's sad that it's come to this. I feel sorry for the kids.
Schools also might not be the place where you have to worry about your kids getting shot the most. Because in recent weeks, we've seen a number of stories of people just being shot because they went up to the wrong house or the wrong car. And the latest of these stories is luckily just an almost situation. And at the center of it, you have Chris Robbins, a Texas meteorologist with a Facebook account called iWeatherNet that dishes out weather news to over 100,000 followers in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Atlanta. But this week, he made news for something that didn't have to do with the weather. Tweeting, "A child just rang my doorbell. Folks, you do not ring doorbells in 2023. My 6 was loaded. Keep your kids away." Signed, Chris. So as you might expect, there was a lot of backlash here. People saying things like, stand your ground isn't meant for that, and the way you're nearly threatening anyone, specifically kids, is disgusting, and why some people shouldn't have guns. To which he replied, "I'm not fucking around."
This guy must be some special unhinged person. Like, look at that face. Look at that face. That guy looks like he'll just kill you in an instant. Without a thought in his head. Just bang. Do not ring doorbells in 2023. What world do we live in? We can't even ring doorbells. We can't take backpacks to school. that's not allowed, can be seen as dangerous, trying to harbour weapons and, distribute all sorts in the school. Can't have that, right? Cool. Whatever. It is what it is. That's how America wants to be right now. But even the citizens are just going on some next tirade, thinking that they're vigilantes, thinking that they're, Red Hood. I've got my 6. I've got my fully loaded 6 or whatever he said, some gun terminology. Do not ring doorbells in 2023 over a little girl looking for a cat. This has got to be a joke.
After that, more and more criticism poured in, with Robinson repeatedly updating his original post with more details, saying the kid who rang his doorbell was a little girl looking for her kitten, as if that somehow made him look better, and then adding, "This is not 1972. If that brat rings my doorbell again, tomorrow I will call the police. Take notes." And honestly, I was like, please tell me I'm being pranked right now, because the hole that he was digging himself just kept getting deeper and deeper, with him saying that he warned the girl not to ring the doorbell again, or he might pull her hair, causing her to cry, with him later even linking to an article about that 84-year-old white man who shot a 16-year-old black teen in Missouri when the boy rang the wrong doorbell.
Wow. What is this guy doing? This guy is unhinged. He's saying, look at what happened to my man. Look at what happened to that young boy. Do you want to end up like him? Because you will if you keep on ringing my door. This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. And this is what happens, right? Something blows up in the media. Like, for example, a mass shooting. And then there'll be 5 other copycat mass shootings in the space of a month. And we're all thinking, oh my God, where's this coming from? It's just people being stupid with guns, thinking that they're gods, thinking that they own everything, thinking that they are the law and they can enforce the law on their terms. Like, bro, the unhinged mentality you have to link this article and say, if you don't want to end up like her, or if you don't want to end up like him, don't ring my bell. Like, that's okay. Like that incident was a just cause incident. Like, he was defending himself. Like, he had every right to do what he did.
Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
He finally clarifies, for the record, I never threatened a 6-year-old, which I think that's when you know you're in a rough spot. You're like, I need to clarify. I did not threaten murder to this 6-year-old looking for a kitten. And adding, I helped her find her kitten. We got her kitten back. Do not ring doorbells in 2023. Which, yeah, unfortunately may actually be very good advice if we have trigger-happy gun nuts like this motherfucker. Good luck to all you Postmates drivers out there. Jesus.
Well, this is what the world's coming to nowadays. We can't even have nice things. We can't even have doorbells. We can't even have backpacks. Like, the whole hysteria around guns in America is definitely fascinating. And speaking from a point of view from someone who's actually shot a firearm before, it's a lot of responsibility. You can't just be willy-nilly carrying the gun. You can't be playing with the ammo. You can't be just overall fucking about. You just have to be paying attention. You have to be observant at all times. But to see how some people just casually just throw threats of violence in relation to guns like that, and just first thing they do is point and shoot, it's just baffling to me. Maybe because there's a lot more stricter rules in the UK, like not anyone could just buy a gun. You have to be part of an organisation, and even then you can't just carry it around the block. Nah, you have to go to a gun range. You have to register that, you're going to be firing this at this place with these people. And other than that, you can't do anything with a rifle or with a firearm. So, yeah. It's just fascinating, just something interesting that we have to keep an eye on, because it's about time another mass shooting happens, so RIP to everyone who might perish, because there's nothing you can do, it seems, because you can't help people who don't want to help themselves, and there's nothing you can do for America when it comes to guns. Well, on that note, let me know what you guys think about all the shenanigans that keep on happening in America in relation to guns. It's been a tough half a year almost for people in America in relation to gun crimes and just overall tragedies. We pray for them, and we pray for everyone watching that everyone has long lives, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
I be kidding on my foes, even though I got it all on my own. Success sweet, yeah, it tastes like honeycomb.